During World War I, armies around the world were forced to innovate under extreme conditions. Trench warfare, mud, rain, and those freezing nights created an environment where standard-issue gear often failed. Amid these challenges, soldiers developed simple, but, revolutionary techniques to make their equipment far more effective. One such method became so useful and so quietly strategic that military manuals deliberately omitted it. This was a gear trick that could make rifles easier to handle, boots more durable, and sleeping arrangements warmer and drier, all without drawing attention or requiring additional supplies. It was the kind of low-tech brilliance that often determined whether a soldier survived or succumbed to exposure, exhaustion, or poor equipment performance. In the first minute, consider this. Every soldier in the trenches had access to the same official equipment, but those who knew the hidden trick could operate more efficiently, maintain warmth in cold conditions, and extend the life of their gear far beyond what manuals suggested. Today, we're uncovering that trick, exploring why it worked so well, and showing how the same principles can be applied in modern survival, camping, or off-grid living situations. The trick started with understanding the materials you already had. Soldiers learned that many failures in equipment didn't come from design flaws, but from misuse or lack of adaptation. Leather boots, for instance, became stiff and prone to cracking when exposed to wet trenches. Rifle stocks warped under fluctuating temperatures. Soldiers discovered that by applying a simple treatment, often oil, tallow, or wax, they could restore flexibility, repel water, and reduce friction. What makes this remarkable is that the method required nothing extra beyond what was already issued. Yet it transformed ordinary gear into tools capable of enduring extreme conditions. In practical terms today, this is a lesson in maximizing existing resources. Treat leather boots, canvas gear, or wooden structures with natural oils or waxes. Even in modern camping or off-grid living, regular maintenance using accessible materials can prevent failures, increase comfort, and prolong the life of equipment. The trick included subtle modifications to enhance efficiency. For example, they discovered that adding small flaps of cloth inside helmets or lining pockets with thin layers of insulating fabric drastically reduced heat loss without affecting mobility. Rifle bolts could be lubricated in ways manuals did not recommend, allowing for smoother operation in mud or snow. These changes were subtle, often invisible, but they made a significant difference in field performance. Manuals avoided mentioning them because standardization was prioritized over practical innovation. Commanders worried that soldiers would alter official equipment in ways that could compromise uniformity or create logistical challenges. For modern survivalists or campers, the principle is clear. Small, thoughtful modifications can dramatically improve efficiency. Layer clothing strategically, add insulation in critical areas, and lubricate or treat tools to handle extreme conditions. These minor adjustments often yield outsized benefits. One of the most overlooked elements of this World War I gear hack was moisture control. Trenches were damp, foggy, and often flooded during heavy rain. Soldiers learned that keeping key areas dry, not just the outside of gear, was absolutely critical. By elevating items off the ground, using natural absorbents like moss or cloth, and creating makeshift barriers, soldiers protected their clothing, bedding, and even ammunition from moisture-related degradation. These techniques not only preserved the life of their gear, but also kept them warmer, safer, and more comfortable in those miserable conditions. Today, moisture management, well, it remains a core survival principle. Always elevate sleeping areas, store gear in waterproofed or absorbent containers, and use natural materials to wick away condensation. Even simple steps like lining a pack with cloth or using a raised platform for sleeping can, dramatically increase comfort and safety. What made this gear hack so powerful and, so carefully omitted from manuals was that it required soldiers to assess their environment and adapt accordingly. No two trench lines were identical, and no two weather conditions were consistent. Soldiers who could modify their gear intelligently, treating leather, adjusting lining, managing moisture, and arranging personal items, found themselves really far more resilient than those who relied solely on official instructions. Adaptation became a force multiplier. Modern applications are straightforward. Always consider how your environment interacts with your gear. Layer clothing and insulation, protect equipment from moisture, and adapt materials at hand to suit your needs. Flexibility is as important today in off-grid living, camping, or emergency preparedness as it was in the trenches. This World War I innovation teaches, really, a fundamental lesson. Survival and efficiency often come from low-tech solutions applied intelligently. Treat your materials, make subtle modifications, manage moisture, and adapt to your environment. You don't need specialized equipment to operate effectively in harsh conditions. By combining these principles, you can extend the life of your gear, maintain warmth and increase comfort, whether you're camping, homesteading, or practicing survival skills. Understanding the ingenuity soldiers developed under extreme conditions reminds us that history holds practical lessons for today. This silent World War I gear trick was more than clever. It was survival engineering at its finest. By learning from it, we can approach modern challenges with the same combination of resourcefulness and applied knowledge. If you found this guide fascinating, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share it with fellow history enthusiasts or survivalists, and keep following for more insights into hidden historical innovations that can transform your own survival and off-grid strategies. The past is full of solutions waiting to be rediscovered, and this is just one example.